Morning guys, back to the shed Saturday morning. Sorry I've not made any videos lately. That's normally my opening statement. Finding time to do these videos is just becoming more and more difficult. However, I thought I'd do this one today. Nothing new on actually training as such for paint and bodywork. I've had a few bargains. As you guys know, I collect spray guns. I couldn't possibly use all the spray guns I've got. I've probably got over 50 spray guns now. But in the last few weeks I've come across a couple of bargains that, even though I didn't really want them, they're part of paint and bodywork history, so I just wanted to grab them up. De Vilbis, obviously a grand name in painting. When I started painting, the JGA and things like that were the standard gun in the workshop, and then when we changed to like water-based paints, guns went to the GTIs. So my GTI had got used and used and used and used, and I passed it on to somebody else who was learning. Better for them to learn on a proper gun than actually a cheap and nasty. So I've always thought there's a part of my life missing. I've missed my GTI. So fortunately we found this one. Brand fire new, or I say brand fire new, it's made in 2006, but it's new old stock, never been used. This is the first time the pot has actually been screwed to the gun. Still got the filter in the bottom, never been put on, never had any paint in. This one is the GTI W. A little bit of a misconception. W doesn't stand for water base. W is the colour of the gun. It's the pale blue colour. The water base feature is that the parts inside it are stainless steel, but you can get the stainless steel bits in the dark blue, which is just called GTI. This one's 1.3 with a 115 air cap, so this is the HVLP version. I have got a 110 air cap. That gun, absolutely brand fire new, as I say, with all its box, its instructions, its booklets, its spanners. I used to pick up for £100. These are currently normally fetching on eBay 160, 180, something like that. And if they're the limited edition ones with the special effects on the painted, like the splotch paint all over it, they're fetching over £200. So £100 for a brand new gun, couldn't go wrong. Once again, another spray gun, a Sata. I actually did want another primer gun. I wanted just a general purpose primer gun for primer that's going to be rubbed down. This is not going to be a wet on wet finish gun. This is for primer, high build primer that's going to be rubbed down. This actually was found on a pawnbroker's site on eBay again. It is the KLC B Sata. This is a 1.6. This is the RP, being blue in colour. Sata have green guns for the HVLP, blue guns reduced pressure. So this is a compliant gun. I'll say reduced pressure, but it's a compliant gun. This one, once again, absolutely brand new. Never had a pot on it yet. I've got the pot, obviously brand new. Once again, never been used, never been screwed on. Inside the back of the gun you can see inside the threads on the anodizing and on the air cap and the fluid tip itself, and inside the air cap, absolutely brand new. Never actually had any paint through it whatsoever. This one has come with the Sata regulator gauge, and also the Sata microfilter water moisture trap that's got the little Schrader valve to let the water out. So this is like a reusable water trap. Even though you can't really see what's building up inside them, every now and again if you just jettison a little valve it'll let the water out. These on their own, new, are £80. The regulator valve are normally about £60 or £70, depending where you get them from. As you can see, genuine Sata. And I got that whole setup from the pawnbroker shop for £40. So what a cracking deal that was, £40. absolutely brand new. I did actually buy, a week before I bought that gun, I no need to have bought this actually because I bought that, somebody advertised another Sata regulator valve. I like the Sata ones, they're very precise when you do the adjustment. The needle doesn't fluctuate big amounts, you can actually control them very finely. So I found them the best to use. But obviously they're quite expensive. This one, in the photograph on eBay, was absolutely caked, plastered with paint. And I mean plastered everywhere. You couldn't read the gauge, anything. But luckily the guy had been using water-based paint. So warm water and a little bit of a wipe off. And as you can see, that is absolutely perfect. It hasn't got an imperfection anywhere in the chrome, in the gauge, in the glass. Everything is perfect. So that was £10. £10. So there are good bargains to have on eBay. As I say, you just got to, it's one of those things. If you want something, you can never find it. So my logic is, if I want something in the future, or think I might want something, if I see a bargain, grab it there and then. It's pointless trying to shop when you want it, because it never happens. So like I say, all that equipment there, there's probably £500–600 worth of things, £150. Great bargain, great bargain. A couple of other things. As you know, here at home I only paint small parts. I normally have mirror covers, wheel arch trims, that type of thing, only small things at home. After I finished, if there's any imperfections or dirt or grit in there, I normally use a little polishing mop just to get the imperfections out, and I normally use this little one, which is great. Universal Tools 90° air buffer, beautiful little thing. Speed controlling on the back, so you can control the speed of your polishing and your mop. You don't burn new lacquer and things like that. So it's a great mop. Downside is, as I said before, here is a domestic dwelling. I don't like putting the big compressor on at night just to polish a mop. After about 7, 8 o'clock at night, I try not to do anything in the shed. So what I wanted was a polishing mop, small enough to hold in one hand, because bear in mind you've got to hold things like a mirror cover or wheel arch trim, as I said before. You've got to hold that in your hand to polish, which I can do with the air one. So I wanted a polishing mop that was small enough to hold in one hand. My big polishing mop, this one, this is a big mop. This you couldn't possibly hold in one hand, you'd ruin every job that you touched. So what I wanted something electric, so that I didn't have to put my compressor on, and small enough that I could hold it in one hand. So I found this polishing mop, speed controlled, soft start, so it starts lovely and smooth. You can obviously run it with the handle off if you don't want the hide handle. This is the same size as a little electric grinder, little grinderette. So this is easily held in one hand. It's got a 3-meter lead on it, so I've got plenty of lead to actually give me a bit of space from the wall socket to the job. So I can now hold my item in my hand after denibbing the part out, and hold it with one hand and just mop. This is very, very quiet. No noises to the neighbours. Don't have to put my big compressor on. Obviously, from the cost of electric, this is far, far cheaper to run than a 3.5 or 5.5 horsepower compressor. This one is just bought. It's their own brand. There's a website on the internet called Polish Your Car, and that's where I bought that one from. So you can see on that side it actually says clean your car, and that side says polish your car. I've actually used this, been using it quite a bit in the last few weeks. Does exactly what it says on the tin. Very easy to hold, doesn't bite, the soft start is wicked, and it's got a push and click switch. So once you push this switch forward for it to come on, it stays in place, so you can then manoeuvre your hand into different places of the mop just to give you space to get in, and like I say, to hold as a one-hand operation. So really, really, really good. I'm very impressed to get that. I've not seen a small electric polishing mop like that at all. I found a French one, I think it was 3-4 years ago. It was silly price. It was like £500–700, but it was small. It was exactly what I wanted, but way out of the reach of that. This one, I think I paid £30 for that. it wasn't new. This is a refurbed one. I think new they were 125 or something like that. So even still cost effective buying a new one. But I can't tell the difference between a refurb and a new one. Everything is perfect. Right, last couple of things I'll have a chat about today. I bought a long time ago a genuine 3M sun gun. If you've ever bought one, you know you cannot do without one. Matching colours, finding coverage of paint. Have you covered over your primers? Some marks, some defects, swirl marks when you're polishing. Without a sun gun or without that natural light, you can't do it. You can't do it. First time you get a job out into the sunlight after you think it's finished, it's back in again and you haven't got enough paint on because you can see a primer spot or something. So I bought one. I didn't want to buy two, and obviously for here at home I wanted to have a cheaper option. So about 2 years ago I bought one of these. This was a Performance Power 12 volt, well actually it's 14 volt I think, yes 14 volt, rechargeable drill. That's all it was a pistol drill. My local, I think it was B&Q I bought it from, my local B&Q, they were selling them off, I think they were £19 a piece. So I bought the gun, only one battery, got a charger with it, all works as it should on the tin. If you undo the screws, take out the electric motor, buy a proper 3M sun gun bulb. And that's the key. You must have this bulb. These bulbs are about £38. You must have this bulb, otherwise the object is pointless. That bulb fits exactly into the diameter of this gun. You can see the part number, serial number on there. It fits exactly into there and is held in place by the two screws that hold the body together. That absolutely touches the back and it fits perfect. There's a little piece of steel that comes in with the metal motor, so there's a little piece of steel that stops the heat from the bulb melting anything, and the two wires that go to the bulb, they've already got heat resistant coating on them, so that's not going to go to melt anything as well. And as you can see, I won't shine it straight in the camera because I'll blind everybody on there, but it works absolutely perfect. So when you're matching colours, face on, flip or flop, this works exactly as the 3M sun gun. That setup, buying the bulb, as I say, was £38, call it 20 quid for the gun, so £58 I've got a usable gun for home, as well as a proper 3M gun as well. The other thing that's come on the market, I've only seen it this week. Our local factors were selling torches and heaters and gloves, everything to prepare yourself for the winter really. And in their parts catalogue, in the special offer sheet, they had one of these. This is a Ring colour match AL3 gun. Rechargeable again, it's got its rechargeable battery inside, charging pack and lead is all inside there. Exactly the same as the one as I've made. To be fair, I no need to have made that because this works absolutely perfect. Two settings of light on this one. First click is full brightness. Once again, flip and flop if you're matching colours, looking for coverage of your paint, works perfect. And you flick it again and it's got the soft tones as well. Some colours, when you're trying to match a colour, you can match it with the one light, try it with the other and it'll look different. You can match paint colours by the both tones of the light to get your best match. I know the one gives out the correct light, which is 4500K I think it is, for natural daylight, and the other one is more of an orangey toned light. But once again, this is all steel. It's got a bumper rubber seal around the outside. It says you can drop, it doesn't say that you can drop it from 3.5 meters. I think it said that you can, it's been tested to 3.5 meters, and if it's dropped, it's not too detrimental to the unit, as long as obviously you don't hit the glass. If you're unfortunate enough to break the bulb, well, that's it. But that, compared with the 3M sun gun, my homemade 3M sun gun, and this, does all exactly the same jobs. It all works as it should on the tin. This has got a nice little stand feature on this, so you can put this on your bench, leave the light on. You can hold your test card and your spray out card in your hand, and then you can move it in front of the lamp, so as you can see. So it's got like a bench function feature, and obviously for charging as well. There's a little rubber gator in the back, you pull back and there's a charge point in the back. At the moment, because like I say, it's winter, it's special offer. So these guns, I think they're normally about 50 or 60 pounds. At the moment, with the VAT, they were 33 pounds. So obviously that's cheaper than buying a new bulb for your 3M sun gun, and it's does exactly what it says on the tin, and it does work well good. Some of these things you have to be a little bit cautious when they're so cheap. When the sun gun was like £300, and I still believe them to be the best, I'll be honest. I've tried most of the other ones that's out on the market as well. This is why I opted for the genuine 3M bulb in this homemade one. 3M one is brilliant. It's got a little cooling fan in the back, 2 batteries, takes some beating. But these will work, and work well. Obviously, if you're on a budget, you guys at home painting cars, projects at the weekend, and you want to make sure that you've got coverage, and you don't want to have a spoilt job by taking it out and find out you haven't covered with your primer. Ideal. 33 quid. Right, that's it for today. As I say, I'm not going to make any more apologies for getting out here and doing videos and things. I seem to do it every time. I have a batch where I could do 3 or 4 videos back to back, lovely, and then all of a sudden I'm 5 weeks down the road and I haven't done any. It's not what I intend to do, but as I said before, myself and my son, we're looking for a unit to set up ourselves as a business project. I should be doing live streaming, I should be doing videos every day, I should keep the video on a head cam and show you start to finish of the jobs, including the daily routine of dealing with customers and quoting and all sorts of things. So it'll be a heads on cam about the whole day. So that's coming, that's coming. So I hope I can keep you excited for now. My son's a little bit more IT savvy as well than I am. We hopefully to have some proper video editing software where we can put some sort of editing in and writing and script that you can read and all sorts of things. So make it more exciting for you. But bear with me, keep subscribing, keep things coming, and hopefully New Year, January, February time, let's fingers crossed and see where we are.